Family Leonardo, me Nasiladi on Multimedia, the CEO Voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around salon, whether it be politics or any other news them what they happen or gossip what they bring out to live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you don't miss any video we will try for bring out to now. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon. Please family, and don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Good morning, my Sierra Leonean friends and family. This is the Master Dream Builder. This is Reggie Cole. Today is the 16th of October, 2025. It's a Thursday. We thank God for waking us up. We thank God for the towing and throwing in life. My friends, today I come with a very, very serious topic. I dedicate this particular talk to every student in Sierra Leone from nursery to the highest grade in universities, to the market woman, to the taxi driver, to the keke rider, the farmer, all the slave queens, the drug dealers, the army, the police, the judiciary. Sierra Leone is a very, very wealthy country, but we get very, very poverty-minded politicians, civil servants, and judiciary today. If you're not the diaspora, this talk also includes you. Today, I'm not here to talk about political parties or elections. All I would say is, just want to let everybody know that we cannot move forward in Sierra Leone without the results of the 24th of June, 2023. I just want to be very clear on this. Going past the results of the 24th of June, 2023 is a watershed moment in our country. Things will never be the same again. And when I mean never be the same again, any semblance of order, we're going to eradicate from the system because we don't accept with the rape and pillage of a civic duty where people then go vote, then cast their vote, then toe line, and somewhere between ECSL and State House, a result came out. Result that they now cannot back up. Now, like where you go do math, you go take mathematics, the teacher say, wait to, how you get the answer? You say, show me the workings. They used to do that in school. So we're not able to see the workings how they arrive at a result. We're not get inauguration. It's now the third year they cancel. So within our country, we'll not know whether we're going or coming. But that's not what today is about. Today now about a report card. The students and the worry now say, who's got a report card this man they can talk about? Not a own, not a me own. These are the report card of them people that we say they can help we. This is a long one today. This is dedicated to the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank for your attention, Sierra Leoneans at home and abroad. Forget about waiting you again by being a World Bank consultant or IMF consultant. Forget it. Let's look at the overall picture of Sierra Leone. 64 years, at least for 60-something years, we don't work with the IMF and World Bank. Okay. In 1967, Sierra Leone joined IMF. Okay. Then tell we say This is the path to stability, growth, and development. But waiting them really they offer we was a classroom independency economics follow depend on them. Let me tell we say, let we devalue our currency, let we cut spending, let we reduce subsidies to open up our markets. Like good students, and the Munkwa they in power and they still they in power, village boys, we get with man inferiority complex. Then follow what in the IMF say, and we Leon fell like a stone in water. But remember, say, I'm numbering on a couple of 2-3 months ago, Dr. Howard Nicholas. And I remember with Pana Genius, that lady, very good lady, right? He said then the IMF's medicine is designed to make you dependent on the hospital. Not to follow you well, now follow you permanently sick. That's exactly what happened to Winner Sierra. Every time we get sick, we run back for another loan, another pill, another chain around our ankles and our wrist. From that moment, Sierra Leone don't begin slide in production. And we started borrowing instead of producing. That was their first exam, the IMF, and they failed. Then came the Sambangura era. So Sambangura don't look from 1967, see how this marriage they go between we and these people. So then came the 1980s, 1979, where he refused for take the loan, where Pashaki erased him from planet Earth, and then bring somebody in, we sign. That's somebody there, I think that the OE Benz name want to see inside. So if you don't see in OE Benz, but they get one panel brand new deal, last sign this tier first. Now that name in concern about. Now so we did. Now Munku politicians that we get, now comes then they survive on, they call themselves rich. Now, then came the 1980s. So we get the OE party. Now in the IMF now pull the secret weapon. Because you got to remember, say, in 1979/80, 75 Salon cents, they buy $1 American. Well, of course, they're not like that. They're not like that. Because there was a new empire. We're done with the British Empire. The American Empire is less talked about, but you get to read the economic hitman for understand, say, then class themselves now as the American Empire. So, they try to conquer without colonizing. You can't colonize somebody twice. Well, you could. But anyway, in fact, they are now. But here's the thing. Now them pull now the Structural Adjustment Program, the SAP. You know, they say, you sap me energy. Well, I mean, Structural Adjustment Program. Then they drain you. Then they suck you blood. Because they truly adjusted our spine to bow down. This is what the IMF said. They say after 1980, after the party done, una privatize una state companies. Una remove subsidies from food, fuel, and education. They say let the market decide. So guess what? Because we owed them the $50 million, this new one, for the OAU party, we had to comply. This time Sambangua they warned them about. Then later on, a company very close to me, because the person who made the manager, Namiombra, then we get for sale SLPMB. Okay? Then cut public sector jobs. They remember when they give Bolgon at school in the 70s, then they give Bolgon and they give that milk. Okay, that had to stop. They removed school feeding. And when we looked up now, that's when we had the exodus in the 80s of people where they finished college, job no day. They were jobless, hungry, and hopeless. Thomas Sankara in 1987, now Addis Ababa warned that debt is cleverly managed reconquest of Africa, ensuring its submission to imperialism. It says a clever tool that they use for reconquer Africa, because then they ensure they will submit to imperialism. That's exactly what it was, and that's exactly what it is, a reconquest. So we lost our economic freedom. While thinking we were gaining independence, we lost our economic freedom. Remember, I don't tell you over and over, you're not free if you're not economically free. So the IMF red pen marked another grade F, failure during this period. Then come the 1990s. A civil war kind of the country, so when NPR see them and Longan shorten them, whatever, the IMF say, no, would they walk away? So now, like when somebody there on the rain, you take your umbrella panel. The tower who need them the most, now they walk away. This is the organization that some people will say they're educated, they defend. This is the organization. They walked away when we needed them the most. No aid, no empathy, just silence. You know what they call it? Then call it policy slippage. I call it abandonment. We were abandoned. When the bullet stopped, they returned with the same old syllabus. New loans, new reforms, new conditions. And we leader them, if you can call them that, the way they'll lead we to 64 years of abject failure and poverty. Then sign again, not for development, but for survival. To pay wages. My brothers and sisters, you cannot heal a nation with the same tools that broke it. You cannot build prosperity with policies designed to extract, not empower. Then came the year 2006. The so-called debt relief we happened under Tijankaba. They said Sierra Leone is now debt-free. People then clapped, we cheered, we thought, oh, what a breath of fresh air. But then they give us new loans the next year. It was like a magician in trick. They cleared one page of the ledger, then wrote on the next. And then we call that progress. Even Lee Kuan Yew, my political mentor, says, a country that cannot discipline itself cannot develop, no matter how much aid it receives. Let me repeat slowly. A country that cannot discipline itself cannot develop, no matter how much aid it receives. He was right. He was right. Singapore took advice from no one. Lee Kuan Yew took responsibility. This is the kind of leadership that I follow. This is the kind of leadership that I bring to the table to set out the economic structure for Sierra Leone. We will take responsibility to build this country. This is a project. I look at this thing now as a project. I look at Sierra Leone as a shop full of things that people want to buy. We, on the other hand, outsource responsibility. We look the blue. We prefer the blue-eyed blonde rather than we comping people that way. Get the common sense. Get the understanding. Say, yes, you mix book sense with common sense. If somebody don't teach you so from 1967, and then they repeat and they repeat, why you to go sleep in a bed with them again? So we, on the other hand, outsource responsibility to the IMF. We call it partnership. Yeah, we don't call it development partners. People, what's the development? Sabagota? No electricity, no pipe-borne water. Now development and the development partners. But partnership without power is servitude. Partnership without equity is slavery. Okay, then come the 2010s. What happened? Okay, under extended credit facilities, the IMF said, cut your wage bill, remove fuel subsidies. You remember with Anescoma, float the currency, let the market fix itself. They call it stabilization. Me, I call it starvation. And when Anes been tried for resist, they suspended the loans. You remember that? They suspended the loans and labeled Sierra Leone non-compliant. It was like a teacher punishes a student for thinking independently. Okay. Dr. Howard Nicholas again said it plainly. The IMF's real goal is not growth. It's obedience. And obedience is exactly what they brought from us. And at the price, what they bought from us rather, at the price of sovereignty. Now, Lord, listen to a short clip. Now, 2 short clips I get today. So, Lord, listen to a short clip now. So, about an American guy describing the IMF in the end. Just give you a minute.
America's never going to pay its debts. It doesn't have to. Its debts are in its own currency. We can simply print it. The African debt is not in its currency. The African debt is in US dollars. Africa has to earn the US dollars, and the only way it can earn the US dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent and doing something that the United States does not like. The principle underlying the foundation of the World Bank is that no country should grow its own food. Africa and the third world should only grow export crops. To export, in order to have an oversupply of cocoa and other tropical raw materials, to keep down the price, they must buy their grain from the United States or Europe, so that if they do something that we don't like, we can do what America tried to do to China in the 60s. We can sanction them. We can say, we're going to starve you. We're going to not export any grain to you. So owing their foreign debt in dollars means that they have to somehow sell something that the United States wants, not what they want. I think the most evil organizations in the world today are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund.
Rest my case. The most evil. This is American. It is on screen, and they sing face.
So we want to just jump
yes,
right into it.
It's the most evil organizations in the world today are the IMF and the World Bank. Now I meet the master dream builder, they tell you now. You know, it's like, where do you work on the streets? Where do you work on the street? You carry oxygen tank with you? You know, oxygen tank. You know the way they put somebody in a hospital bed. You carry it with you for let you they breathe. You know they breathe naturally. You see what this man they talk about. We don't need these people. We get with oxygen. Now ain't God give we. We no need for carry oxygen tank. They are they weigh us down. They're oxygen tank. They will never help us. Yeah, now American talk so. Okay, so you don't hear. Then the other point, one time when we get one debate with one bra, no calling name, because I know I'm let the talk go. I put that black in the pack say, but America in debt is irrelevant because they print their own money. The man they argue with me. You hear the man say? The man don't talk. Now, economist too for America. It's America can print its own dollars. Africa must earn its dollars. Difference. Okay, when our debt is priced in foreign currency, we children the future gets priced in someone else's policy. And when the World Bank tell we forgo cocoa for export while we import rice to eat, we are rich in markets we don't control and poor at the dinner table. We can't feed ourselves. This is why the plan, the $100 GDP plan, food sovereignty. Remember, the agriculture first. We must be self-sufficient, and nobody is going to stop us. Nobody. Value-added export products are the second goal in the agriculture cycle. And we only take debt, not from institutions like this. Listen, I'll tell you something about me. You know, listen, I need to tell you about me. Okay, fine. I was close to raising £100 million, £100 million from a company called Librum, for a company where Mimi get when I'm only 2 years old. Now, the final stage, we're there for 11 months. The final stage now, we not grip on how them want structure the loan. So I walked away. £100 million. Now, I mean, a 2-year-old company. The last loan where Salon just take just now is $178 million, and we get 44 minerals. Me no get no collateral for give. Listen, we know Simon need to sleep. We know Simon need to sleep. We need to come to the table to fix that damn country there where I don't screw up. Okay, now, and that's only for fund cash flow production, never consumption. When you take debt, like this last debt, what we take so that for pay wages. Wages where the people don't earn with no production. Then what's in the happen in the next cycle of wages? You do go back to the IMF. You do go deeper and deeper and deeper in debt. So 2025, the IMF don't come back with the same textbook since 1967. So now look at the report card now. Currency stability, IMF grade F, failed. Job creation, failed. Industrialization, failed. Education and health, we'll go look not no more now. Okay, failed. Self-reliance, failed. Self-reliance. we get for loan money for run we own census and run we own election. Yet when I get a 22-year rather, unemployed, illegitimate, council flat tap to me living, plus we don't spend now over 120 million on private jets. And APC CDOM, APC opposition leaders don't even talk about this. Sierra Leone, we need help. We need help. The help has arrived. Open your hand and receive it. Okay? After 60 years, these people have not passed a single subject in the matter of Sierra Leone. They don't failed every exam. Yet, we still invite them back to teach the next class. Brothers and sisters, that is not development. That is domination disguised as economics. So let's look at the timeline quickly. Let's look at the timeline. Okay, let's go quick. Let's go quick. I got to rush this one. Okay, 67 we join IMF. 73 first IMF standby arrangement. 79 extended fund facility. Remember that? This na the Huawei, the Sambangura issue this. They extended the EFF. Okay? Currency devaluation, subsidy removal, austerity. Now this Sambangura no one do. They say structural reforms, extended fund facility. The first way they say devalue your currency. Remember now, 75 Salon cents mean they buy $1 American. 2 leons mean they buy $1 UK pound. Now this Sambangura no one do. So it's happy now from 1981 to 1985. If in this alone, now that's when the drag begin come. Okay? The structural adjustment program kick in now. Then cut public spending, remove subsidies, then sell SLPMB during this time. 1992 to 95, the civil war, and IMF suspended their loan to we. Just when we needed them, that's when they vacated. Okay? Now, 2001, poverty reduction and growth facility. 2006, debt relief under the HIPC, right? 2009 to 2013, extended credit facility again. 2017 to 2020, IMF suspension under Bios Ali rule. Remember that, okay? That's why they went. That's why they went there. They were the first visitors when Mada Bio came in 2018. And I remember? Okay, now, okay, renewed IMF and ESF 2021 to 2023 for post-COVID loans. Now the new 38-month ECF, okay? They say tight monetary policy, revenue mobilization, and debt sustainability, okay? Now, how IMF affects Salon? Currency devaluation, privatization and job losses, cuts in social spending, dependence on imports, debt dependency, political control. Okay? That's the IMF for you. Okay? Spans over 50 years, almost our entire post-independence life. They don't erode everything. These are the external devils that we need to be aware of. Thomas Sankara said it best. He who feeds you controls you. Until we replace this IMF dependency thinking with domestic production, family first policies, and a national investment fund, this is the Sierra Leone you're going to take to your grave with you. You're praying for Father Christmas will not exist. So I'll play the next clip quickly for you. This now with friend again, Dr. You know the one now. I'll just play quick.
IMF, World Bank, all other institutions, they make African countries jump through hoops. Loans will never be able to pay. The US, when they borrow money, they're getting it in 1.5, 1.9 interest rate. Africans, when they get the same amount of money, they're paying 9, 10%. The people who don't need a break, they get a break. The ones who need a break, they don't get a break. The sheer survival of the World Bank IMF is based on the fact that African countries and many other developing countries do not succeed. Their success is based on our failure. That has to change. And guess who can make that change? We, the children.
That's right. That change would only come from us, not the Caucasian in a briefcase. It's never going to work. Then they fight for their own country. Where do we get, the politicians, the way we get, not the fight for our own country. As a matter of fact, when the politicians then thief the money where IMF and World Bank they put on the table, then they bring and Canada their own country back. We know this to be the truth. The truth. Okay? So, cheap money for the rich, expensive money for the poor. There are several factors for that. I know that somebody can talk now and say, hey, you are not going to give the same rates, whatever. I'm just calling it out for what it is. Cheap money for the rich, expensive money for the poor. I know this. I'm in subprime. That's what we do. Yes, that's what we do. Yeah, if you get good credits, we give you lower loan. If you get bad credits, we give you expensive loan. That's how it works. But there's several factors around that. If the system profits when we fail, then failure is their business model. That's right. That's right. That's why when the economy go down in the UK, I'm good. Economy good or economy bad or I'm good, because I get more customers within that. That's how it works. Okay. And if success must come, we must write the rules, not as beggars, but as builders. We are the credit rating we've been waiting for. When we produce, the world will line up to finance on our terms. When we own, waiting God give we. You understand there? These people will always need what we have. They will always need what we have. I don't care if they make lab diamonds. They will always need the real diamonds as well. Might be different pricing, but they will still need it. So I'll write down a report card, one that measures real life, not foreign approval. The IMF measures GDP. We will measure how many children do eat today. Almost when they eat. How many families have light tonight? How many graduates found work this year? How much of our wealth stays inside Sierra Leone? That's the report card of prosperism. That's the reclaim, rebuild, and prosper. Don't forget the three tenants. You can't argue with me if then three tenants say no good. The three tenants: family first, production, public assets, no more privatization of the people's crown jewels, ports, power, water. All will be held under Sierra Leone Capital Holdings, a Temasek-style national fund. Look, when you did this for Singapore, we must do this for Sierra Leone. Discipline, planning, and vision, not dependency. So the young people of Sierra Leone, listen carefully. If we are not rise now, if we are not get up, like I don't get up in Nepal, you don't get up in Sri Lanka, then get up in Kenya, you will inherit a country owned by creditors, not by citizens, and you'll be a slave. This is the fact of the life. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. If we do not land production, you'll remain consumers forever. And if we do not challenge the IMF dependency, your future, like it already is, will be mortgaged again and again before you're even employed. Thomas Sankara says we must choose either champagne for a few or safe drinking water for all. I think I prefer the safe drinking water for all. I prefer dignity for all. I prefer sovereignty over charity. I prefer prosperism over poverty management. Right. My fellow Sierra Leoneans, the IMF and World Bank report card is in. They failed. But the question tonight is, will we continue to repeat the class? Or will we graduate to our own destiny? We get the answer then that we owe on. And I bring encounter now almost every time when I speak. In our soil, our youth, our talents, our will. But first, we must unlearn dependency. Brai Bobodeya must stop. We must reclaim our resources, rebuild our industries, and prosper under our own flag, the green, white, and blue. Let us rise as one people under God and declare that the classroom of colonial economics is now closed. No more IMF exams. No more failed report cards. From today, Sierra Leone, the day we get involved, Sierra Leone will write our own grades. Freedom will be A+. Production will be A+. Self-reliance will be A+. The end of corruption begins with this $100 billion GDP plan in my duffel bag. And I don't tell our politicians, say, una go get rich under this system. I understand human beings. Una go get rich under this system. Police go get rich under this system. Army go get rich under this system. Civil servant will get rich under this system. Judiciary will get rich under this system. But you know what's in? That 1-year-old Bobo and Masingbi in future will be better for it. And that's what I'm talking about. We either choose the $100 billion GDP plan or let we enjoy, according to Fela Kuti. I left now, so God bless you now. I'll leave you with this song.